We have cut most of our pasture into strips. So here on the northern side of the house, we have this, it's about 1.5 to 2 acre paddock right here with a fence line that splits it off from the rest of the pasture. Now, whenever we redo our fencing, I'm gonna actually close this in, and it's just gonna be, I think let's just say 1 3/4 acre, because that's about right. And make them kind of just permanent fenced paddocks inside of the full perimeter fencing of the pasture. So like we have the front pasture that is about 12 acres, the back pasture that's about 16 acres, and inside both of those we're gonna have 1 3/4 acre permanent paddock, kind of, that has its own perimeter fencing inside of the perimeter fence, so that we have one, just kind of a area that I can put the cows or new cows or something in, a holding area, kind of sacrificial. But I'm also gonna, when we're not using it for holding cows or anything in, I'm gonna use it for rotational grazing for the herd. So previously, like last week, they had access to this area, really nice and groomed. Now I went out there and knocked down all the weeds and stuff that they didn't eat, like the milkweed. I went and knocked all that down so that it wasn't spreading. But as far as all the grass and everything, I mean, they groomed it pretty nicely. So then I opened up this next area for them, and we kind of cut it into strips that are about 150 to 200 feet wide, and then go down all the way to the front road, the end of the pasture. And I've just been cutting those sections off into sections and giving those, you know, I'll leave them in a spot that's about an acre paddock for a day or two, and then I'll open up the next. But I'm leaving the previous paddock open to them. So like, we put our water right here, and because I don't want to continuously have to move this every couple days, and I don't have enough water hose to reach out to the end of the pasture, I'm just leaving this area open to them. And they can come back and get their water, lick on their sock block, get some protein cubes or whatever, but then they're going out there and spending their time out where the fresh grass is. So then so we have that strip. So they've made it all the way out to the front fence, and they've had that access to the whole area for about 3 days, I think. So now it's time we have to move the cows. We've got to move them. They're, you know, it's nothing but weeds and stuff out there. I need to get the tractor over there so I can knock down all the milkweed and everything. And so I just went and placed all of my fiber tough post for their next little strip of section here. And this time they're going to get a little bit of the tank for the water. I don't have enough water hose to get that water put over onto this strip, just because of like where my faucets are located and the amount of water hose. I don't have enough. And if I did, it would be a couple 100 feet, and the water would trickle out really slowly, and it would take all day to fill it up. So I gave them access to the pond out there, and they'll love that. They have that whole treed area to get up in. They love that area. So they have about an acre here, and I've cut it off at about an acre. And so that we should get about 3 paddocks, about 3 acres from here to the fence line out there for them to eat on. So it'll last them a week, maybe a week and a half, and then we'll have to move them over to the next strip of pasture. And I'm thinking that if we're working with the whole 12 acres here, we should be able to get 4 strips, about 3 acres each. Some areas would be a little more, like this area here. This first strip is a little bit more because we have this extra paddock up here that we're using, whereas, you know, I don't have that extra paddock out here. So where I can get 4 paddocks on this side, I can only get 3 the further we go down. So I've learned a lot about using wire reels and making daily paddocks, or, you know, couple day paddocks for cows, and trying to do it the most efficient way possible. So, you know, I did run into a few spots where it's like, okay, well, I need to open a gate right here, but, you know, there's line and I can't open it. Or I need to extend this paddock, but the area I need to extend was where the hook was, so I couldn't like unreel the line. So we're learning a lot. So now what I'm doing is, you know, the reel itself needs to come out wherever I'm going to be moving the cows. And in this instance, because we need to make an L with this, we need to go down this line and then curve over to connect to this other fence to kind of block them off and give them this 1 acre paddock. This reel needs to end up on this fence line. Okay, at this point, I need to go turn my line off because I'm going to connect this reel that we just unrolled to my barrier, my lane perimeter, right? And that's where we'll get hot at. Ladies. Y'all ready for some new grass? Man, we have the best cows. We really do. These cows are awesome. They're all in between full-blood Aberdeens and Aberdeen crosses with Hereford. Aberdeen crosses with Herefords, so Aberdeen Hereford, Aberdeen Hereford. This little guy, he's just like he's a low line red baldy. It's like Red Angus and Hereford, but he's not Aberdeen at all. But he is a low line, so he's gonna stay smaller. He's our steer, so. And he's also the only one that has horns. I wanted to stay away from horned cattle. I wanted to go straight homo-polled cattle, but you know, we got him for a good price from a great farm, same farm that we got Miss Patty from, and they're great people. So I mean, I'd be okay with taking a good cow from them. He'll be he's our 2022 steer. We've named him 21 and 22. This is 21. That's 22. Now I'm gonna try, maybe when Bailey gets back from taking the girls to daycare, I'm gonna try to get both of them over with the bull. And then our last one here, Miss Sheila, we're still expecting her to have a calf any day. Any day now, huh, Sheila? She's a 50-50 Aberdeen Charolais cross. She's showing signs. She's starting to get a little swollen back there, so hopefully we'll see a calf on the ground here in the next couple days. So I wanted to highlight this pasture, this grass. This grass is you know, knee high of a nice Bahia grass, and then a little coastal down here. But they'll eat it down. They'll get it nice, and if they don't eat it, you know, because they're not going to eat every bit of grass that's out here, but they'll stomp down some of these weeds. And then whatever they don't get, we'll come back through and mow so that we can get a nice even cut on the pasture, and it'll have a nice grow back. It'll be nice whenever it, you know, evenly all comes back up. And get rid of some of these milkweeds and whatnot. We're fighting them. So this spot right here is actually a great example of what they will do. Look down this fence line and tell me if you can see the difference. So this is the paddock that they have been in, and like, look right here on the fence line, how it, you know, the grass is pretty short, and then just on the other side, right here where the fence line has been, how it just automatically comes up and is a lot taller. And that's what cows eat. That is how cows can groom your pasture. We got the yellowing starting over here on this side, and we still have nice green grass out over here. That's what we want to see. All right, so Bailey's home. She's gonna help me. I have this, all the cows are standing up here waiting now because I brought the blue bucket of a little feed out, so they're excited. I think I want to try to keep the steers back. I want to let all the ladies through to let them into the new paddock, but then I want the steers to stay back over here so that I can later move them. And I think they're getting ready. The Lucky, the little steer, I think he'll be easy because he usually stays behind everybody anyway. The hard one is going to be number 21 right here, who tends to lead everyone else whenever mom is not leading. So if I can keep him back while Bailey walks the cows around, I think we'll be good. Let's hope anyway. That's how we're gonna try it. It started raining on us, and the steers were a little bit harder to get moved than we thought. So we got all the cows in the new pasture right now, and I'll try again to get the steers separated. They're being quite
Finicky?
Yeah, stubborn. One of the stubborn, there's a good word.